Can we just take a second to think about how crazy internet streaming is? Let's start with your device. Someone figured out the basic components of a computer. You know, a processor, memory, storage, all that stuff. They then kept streamlining this technology until it became so small you could carry it around with you. That's kind of crazy if you think about it, because computers used to be like really big. There are people working right now to make computer components better and better. Scientists who manufacture CPUs using an extreme ultraviolet lithography machine to carve nearly microscopic patterns onto metal so that you can spend your time scrolling TikTok. If you're wondering how that works, memory is stored with a bunch of little wires. They're basically microscopic wires. They make it so small so that you can carry it around with you, because these used to be so big that computers had to be housed in rooms. Also, these machines are as big as buses and weigh like hundreds of thousands of pounds. They're huge. There's like one of them in the world. Maybe two. I think there might be two. I don't remember exactly. There's like one or two of them that make processors. That is why everything has like an Intel processor, because it's like one company or like two companies that make processors, that make CPUs, because of how ridiculously large and expensive and crazy the machine is. That is why. Let's just look at some of the engineering behind the screen in your hands. There are thousands of people who spent countless hours working against deadlines and unforeseen limitations to make all of these components work together. Many people who spent years honing their knowledge and skills until writing software became their craft. People designed the layout of your device's operating system, spent time typing in a language that you probably don't fully understand, even if you work in the field, in order to make the CPU, the memory, the storage, everything in a computer to do something together, so they understand each other and can communicate with each other and display something on a screen that you can actually understand and isn't just a bunch of ones and zeros and flashes of light that is indecipherable to anyone. Then, of course, teams of people did the same for every single app on your device, making sure that their product still worked across company boundaries. In fact, it is crazy to think about just how much communication goes into the uniformity of computer design. There are dozens of coding languages, yet somehow humanity made computers that use standardized languages so that any company knew how to create an app that could function on the computer before you. They somehow made sure that they were all interconnected and worked seamlessly on an operating system so that you could play Subway Surfers on your phone, despite the phone and Subway Surfers being made by two entirely different companies with two entirely different groups of people working on them. Then there's the internet. Gosh, the internet is so complex and a lot more physical than you think. You're aware of Wi-Fi, yes, but Wi-Fi is only good for short distances. There are many thousands of people who manage the physical components of the internet. Ethernet cables stretching across the seafloor from nation to nation are managed so well that no one remembers how much of their information is traveling underwater right now. Data centers that run the millions of individual websites physically stored in a location. People who maintain the websites you visit, updating the layout, patching the code, and ensuring general security so that you don't get some random virus on your computer most of the time. There are so many people, so many fellow human beings that work tirelessly to ensure you can stream Netflix whenever you want. That's just the internet. That's just a fraction of the world's infrastructure. There's also local transport systems of drivers, managers, and organizers to ensure large webs of vehicles reach their designated locations on time, safely and securely. If you live in America, there's the complexity of nationwide roadways, connecting nearly every city to one another. There's the large amount of work maintaining roads, bridges, and tunnels that are all done without you really noticing. Like, you notice them working, and you see them working, and you're annoyed the road is closed. But without them, the road would crumble apart, the bridges would fall, you wouldn't be able to get to work, to school, to anywhere you wanted to go without this giant system. Then there's the vast shipping systems that ensure you can get your Amazon package on time. Drivers, organizers, like I said before, and the like. So many people who wake up and work boring jobs so that your world can keep spinning. Grocery stores, car washes, Walmart, I guess that's a grocery store. Any store you can think of. All of these things that you use in your daily life have teams upon teams of people communicating and working together in a web so that everything works with everything else. None of this could have been done alone. The device you're holding is a testament to the goodness of humanity, not because it's designed to hold your attention, but because of the unimaginable amount of work and cooperation that goes into creating and maintaining an electronic device like yours. Enough people wanted to make sure that the world had access to this technology that get up every morning, super early, and do whatever boring or difficult job they have to make sure it continues. There are so many other examples of the vast interconnectedness of global infrastructure. Although I think this is enough to get the idea across. It is a miracle that people are able to work this closely together and organize something so large. So if you ever think that the world is on fire and burning and gonna die soon, just think about the amount of human cooperation that allowed you to see this news in the first place. I promise you, it is not as bad as it seems if the infrastructure that allows you to watch YouTube still exists. I think that in itself gives some hope. Thank you. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, give me a like and subscribe. And if you want to see more, I have a webcomic up that I'm trying to get off the ground. And I also have another channel that I make with my friends, a fan-dubs called My Chick Morons. If you'd like to see more, just do that, I guess. I don't know, I'm bad at this.